Okay, today we'll be going back to school. You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
what inspired this episode is actually because I found out that Juita goes to an all-girls school and I go to a kebangsaan school that has boys and girls lah. So I was
Mine also kebangsaan lah.
wondering whether this has changed the way we communicate and make friends as we become adults. Okay. Let me tweak the question a bit.
Okay.
All-girls school meet a boys' school for sports competition. Normally there's social interaction.
Because we're all girls' school.
Like that doesn't happen what lah.
But okay. So girls' school, right, would have our rival girls' school. So, for example, the rival school for us was always convent.
Okay.
I don't know why lah. Maybe because I went to mission school. So I was in like MGS and then I was at BBGS and I went back to MGS because my parents shifted for work every 5 years kind of thing lah. So we would have the rival girls' school and then we would have like the brother boys' school.
Okay.
Yeah. So my school, for example, would have MBS, LaSalle or St. John's, kind of like the brother school. And then when they pass in front of the school, we're like, oh girl lah. We're like, wow, the guy handsome oh. Like, but it's always in the other side of the field. It's quite fun lah.
Actually, it's quite interesting because I think maybe the girls' school girls will look at the boys' school boys and terbalik. But when you're in the co-ed school, there's no such
it's just like all in the same class. So
yeah,
it's
maybe you just like also
special.
It's the same. Correct. There's this story that I wanted to share. I used to go for tuition classes.
Okay.
But this happened, I remember this subject tuition, I don't know why. It was maybe like 8 girls and 2 boys or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But it was all from different school lah. Okay, so I remember there's this girl who came from an all-girls school.
Okay.
So during tuition classes, sometimes we are pair up one. So there was one time she paired up with the guy and I felt that she was very uncomfortable.
Right.
Then after class, then I asked her, like, so why you suddenly so quiet, so weird, like so off like that? Then she said, first time pair with the guy, a bit weird lor, like
not sure.
The talking part, like I don't know, talk too much or like I suddenly very aware of the way I talk, she said. You know, like the way I talk and then the way I ask question and I...
What age was this though?
Maybe 15?
Okay, and did this girl have like any attraction to the guy or it's just
it don't have
at all?
So we of course you start teasing, right? Hey, you like him, is it? That's why you feel so like,
yeah,
you know.
that's why.
Then she's like, no lah, it's just that she also don't have brothers at home.
Oh.
So she only go to school and then she's her weekends are not like filled with church people or activities or something. She's like the school and then family.
Okay, so yeah, so I have a brother at home and my brother's got guy friends and stuff.
So you got exposure to boys.
I have exposure to boys.
So yeah, that totally changed. And then looking back now, she's still single.
Okay.
And she said that it's still a bit hard for her when she needs to talk to a man.
That's interesting.
Let's say colleague or something. She always feel that there is like a gap or like a weirdness that she cannot overcome.
I have so many questions to ask, like related. Okay, let me try.
But I'm not.
I know. But let's just explore lah. Okay. So number one, the thing that we always thought was a pro of going to an all-girls school is that we would all speak up. Okay, so there's this thing, right? I don't know whether it's real or a perception or okay, but let's just talk about it. When there are guys in the room, girls tend to, not all girls, but some girls tend to back off, let the guy talk.
Okay.
Especially in Asian contexts. Maybe because most guys, no, I don't know about respect lah, but maybe because most guys tend to be, again, not all guys, but some guys tend to be more assertive, more high D, more alpha male than the girls, and therefore we just let the guy talk lah. You know, if you need to talk, you talk lah. I need to talk, then only I talk lah, that kind of thing. So coming from that angle, right, it's like if you're in a girls' school, then everybody is equal in that sense. Of course, you still have the higher dominant people and the quieter people, but there is that less of the guys overcrowding the leadership positions. So again, I don't know whether it's a real thing or a felt thing or how.
Because I also have another friend from all boys school.
Yeah.
When she finally came out to do college or something, it was a bit hard to deal with having female classmates.
In what sense?
Suddenly she's like aware, got female, like, do I dress properly? Suddenly he like have to make impression, like the way he talk or the way like, am I talking too loud or something? Or like, should I let them talk? Like there is no, she said, actually no idea how to communicate with a female. You know, of course, if you meet some female who's like dominant one, wow, the flow talk, then you just gel lah. But if you meet one, let's say another one that's quiet like you, then two of you awkward together lah, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of things. Because in college is when you actually have a lot of group assignment that you actually have to mingle with people that you might or might not know lah.
So then that awkwardness becomes very real lah. So for me, right, I had, the funny thing is, I was just thinking, I had A-levels, which was the first time I had boys in my class. But I don't think it occurred to me that this is the first time I'm having boys in my class.
Yeah, because you're brothers.
Yeah lah. Except there was one guy lah. There was one or two guys that suddenly you're like, oh, do I have an attraction to this person? Suddenly it's like, you know, something is like, because I didn't grow up in the era of LGBTQ awareness of so for us it's like, oh, now got guys in the consideration, right? Who we meet every day in class and everything.
Interesting. So maybe after we come back from the break, we talk about more of how this upbringing maybe change or determine or how to say influence the way we make friends now.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by CMate Communications. They do design, they do copywriting, and they do all sorts of creative content.
So if you like what you've been seeing on Jom Sembang Malaysia's punya thumbnail ke poster ke, search up CMate Communications, CMATE Facebook page.
Okay, Gina, so do you think growing up in a co-ed school influenced you differently?
I think in a bit, there's this incident that really my friend pointed out that made me think lah.
Okay.
So I met this guy at work. He's a total gay guy. Okay, so
that's total and not total. Okay, never mind.
Yeah lah, I don't know lah. People now got bisexual lah. Don't know what lah. So he's like totally into guys, that kind of thing lah. Okay, so I remember we worked together for about a month. It was a labor work. Like we had a lot of labor work as in
I see.
8 a.m. to maybe 10
like
p.m.
heavy lifting kind of stuff.
Heavy lifting, stacking files and sorting out stuff like that. So after 1 month of part-time job, then we just parted ways lah.
Okay,
but I remember him being a very friendly, kind, like the one who care lah, I got enough lunch or not. Like, you know, that kind of like very caring person.
Okay.
So after we finished work 1 month, then he called me a few weeks later and said, hey, want to yum cha? So I don't think much about it because in my mind it's not a prospect lah. So I said yum cha, everything. And then after yum cha, I said, hey, come go back to your house and hang out. And for that reason, right, also because I didn't see him as a potential whatever, right? Okay lah, come. So I live alone some more, you know. So I let the guy in.
Okay.
See? Exact same expression my friend had. So I let him in, then he just lie down on the sofa and then we just chit-chat, and then I sent him back lah. Like a few hours lah. So when we have other colleagues ma, so I was saying to that colleague, hey, that day he come and hang out at my house, and my friend was like, oh, here who? Just him ah.
I also haven't hang out in her house.
Then after that my friend said like, what? Like also can like what? Then I was like, what? It's just very innocent hangout, you know. And then my friend come from the all-girls school is like, this not normally we don't like, and I was like, oh, that was where I just think to me, oh, I need to think deeper about this, is it? Because to me, all my life I go to co-ed school, right? Having boys in the group to do assignment together or we go on a trip together, or it's very human lah. It's to me, there's no gender lah. It's just another person, let's go.
Correct lah, but if come to your house in the... Okay lah, if you were a different race, you would be kalwat already lah. No man?
No, I think maybe because there was no romantic prospect.
Hey,
so there wasn't much thinking about it. Almost like, come lah, Jita, come hang out, you know? That kind of thing lah. So, but it also makes me think when my friend pointed out that, I said, so you have a certain interaction boundary with the opposite gender because of your upbringing.
Question.
Because I don't have that. I see male and female as a person. And, you know, I don't draw that line. But I find out that some of my girlfriends who attended all-girls school has that very, how is it, obvious or subconscious
border
or boundary.
Boundaries is the word.
Yeah. So
because last time the boundaries at the fence of the school ma.
Correct. So they always have that limit ma. Like, you know, or don't pause the ball, blah, 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 blah. Like we all co-ed so have one. So how does it work?
It's working together in a public place and everything. So for example, if I were to have coffee with a friend of the opposite sex, alone, no issues. I think it would be more like if you were in a confined place together. So for example, there was one day we were editing. I was checking audio.
Okay.
And that was quite funny because, okay, let's say we were in studio here. I've been in the studio with JD, I think. But it doesn't feel awkward. But it's just that in that particular thing, it was in a smaller space. There was nobody else around and it was dark. And I'm thinking, I know there's nothing going to happen here, but it's more of, I don't know, maybe a public perception thing. If somebody were to walk by or walk in and see, then they wonder, got hanky-panky going on or not. But for me, it is more of
but the friend, was that
it's not
friend
nothing to
conscious about it?
I don't think so, because he was the one who turned off the light. Because it's like,
yeah, maybe a friend like me, like, okay, another
like
person.
very, very jarring to and you're listening, right? So all your senses are
correct.
But for me, it's always been more of boundaries in terms of modesty rather than co-ed or not co-ed thing. It's more of,
okay,
I don't know what I learned in my religion, for example, of just being careful of not
giving the wrong ideas. But yeah, like just now, rewind a bit. When you said that you wanted to, in a college or something, then you see guys, or then you have that thinking whether it's attractive or prospect. What's the first experience of talking to a guy that you like?
Oh, I just suppose then it would be a little bit more trying to make a better impression lah. Okay, so again, right? So in school, like you said, right, there is no reason to impress anybody because we're all, But on the other hand, in a girls' school, so I don't know about yours, right? We talk a lot about dress etiquette, like your pinafore must wear properly one.
Okay.
Don't, I don't know lah, make sure you always button up properly.
Okay.
Or, dress up properly. Your hair lah, your whatever lah, check your nails lah, your socks must properly wear. I don't know if that happens in a boys' school. Like when we sit down, the teachers actually tell us, hey, please sit properly, cross your leg or don't kangkang. Or I know you're wearing shorts inside lah, but then
I'm trying to think whether my teachers tell me that.
You're not going to be wearing shorts later when you out of school and you go to work and stuff. Things like when you sit down, make sure your bag is not on the chair because it's not how ladies sit. That kind of thing. We had a lot of it in school.
We don't have it.
Yeah, we had a lot of that in school.
We don't. I think the other thing that really happened in school is, for example, okay, PE time, right? So sometimes the girls normally will go and change inside.
Yes.
Inside the toilet, then the boys just change in the class.
Yeah.
But as we go older, like from 4, from 5, right? They were like, nobody see one lah. So the guys, some of them are quite comfortable taking off their clothes and just putting on very fast.
Okay. So you got to change their shirts.
Correct. You reach a point where the girls also master a place where they put in and they can just remove their shirt.
Yes.
So I think because of that, we got used to the whole awkwardness.
So it wasn't awkward already lah.
Correct.
So
by the time you go college or something, if someone happens to change in front of you, we are totally fine. But there are some girls who are like, like it's because they are not, how to say it, there's no exposure to this.
Okay lah, for me, right, I wouldn't feel, I don't know, it's more of like, ooh, nice body, ooh. Or it's like, oh my God, I don't really want to see that, right? But yeah, I don't think it's awkward lah for me lah.
So for me, because I have not had any problems or how to say challenge talking to a guy. Because I always think that guy and girl same, I'm talking to a person. But I find that some of my friends from all girls school, they find it a bit hard to talk to a guy. Yeah. Or like, especially the first like maybe few years after school. The adjusting to this society that has male figure.
I did have one situation where a guy was like extraordinarily nice to me, or rather than I don't know what. And then I was weird lah. I was like, I don't know whether this guy interested or not interested. And
reading signs lah.
That would. Yeah. So I suppose you learn that a lot younger if you go to a co-ed school, like
kinda, because you kind of read signs all your life.
Yeah,
the 11 years.
I look at my nephews, right, and once got proposed to when he was in kindergarten by a girl.
Wow, I think now it's even different from our age.
I don't think she knew what she was doing, but yeah. Yeah, and I see like for them it's a lot more natural, that girl boy relationship. For me, growing up in a all girls school, it's something that we had to talk about in a seminar. Okay, girl boy relationship.
But do you find that coming from all girls school, you have more close, good female friends than male friends? Wow, is that question deep?
Close.
That means good friends lah. Are a lot of your good friends male or female?
Okay, my good friends would be female. I have a lot of guy friends that I might not say that, go and share my darkest secrets with them. So yeah, I suppose, yes.
Okay. I have nothing else to ask.
So what's the verdict?
I think it's very different because like for me, I have a lot of good friends. They are not necessarily girls.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand whether our upbringing influenced the way we choose our friends. Choose our friends or the way we make friends when we are adults.
Okay.
Yeah. So if let's say like my friend, making friend with a guy, just a normal friend, it gives her a bit of anxiety. Like she will feel like, hey, if there's no reason lah, just want to be friend lah. Then she was like, hey, got motive ah.
Oh, okay.
Because in school, normally got motive, only got one guy after you mah. Okay, but for me, it's like, the flirt, hi, bye, every day, it's okay one.
Yes.
Because I'm so used to
every day.
Correct. So that's when I realized there's a contrast or difference in it lah. So I'm just a bit curious, that's all.
Okay.
So yeah, to all of you out there, if you have any stories to share, maybe from an all-girls school or all-boys school, about how it actually influenced the way you make friends as you grow up, right? Do share it with us.
Yes, please do. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Cerita Suito and Gina Yap Layung.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.